Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this handstand conditioning earth practice. So today's class is going to be relatively slow moving, not a lot of fast moving positions, a lot of holding positions for around 5 breaths, okay? We want to be getting our wrists, our shoulders, our abs used to holding these positions for a long amount of time and also being able to breathe in those positions as well. So I'm going to be cueing for a lot of breathing techniques, and it might be a little bit annoying as I count breaths as we do it, but it's really important practice to do today. Let's start up by warming up our wrists, please. So meet me in a tabletop position. Okay, so spread the fingertips out. Create this almost like tarantula hand, I call it, where your fingertips slide in ever so slightly and you push your knuckles down into the ground. Okay, so it looks like this second knuckle on your finger is lifting up off the ground as the first knuckle pushes down into the ground here, and that creates a really, really strong base for your hands to be in. This is also really good when you're doing any kind of hand balance work, that these are your brakes. So if I start to lean too far forward over the line of my wrist and I feel like I'm gonna fall over, these fingertips here are the things that are gonna stop me going forward. And they also allow you to get a little bit of tactile feeling with the ground. Okay. Then from here, start to rotate your fingertips out towards the sides of your mat. Just moving the wrists around. And as you're doing this, it's not just that you're kind of floating around. There should be a decent amount of weight on your wrists and hands here, as much as your wrist can control. And it's really important to warm them up before we do any kind of compression work. Now, although this is a handstand conditioning session, turn the fingertips back towards your knees, or a practice that is guided towards conditioning you for a handstand, there aren't actually going to be any. Well, there might be one or two. There aren't going to be many handstands in today's class. It's going to be the foundational pieces of that practice that you can do alongside your handstand practice to help condition your body, get the body awareness, get the body conditioning, get the body, what am I looking for? The word coordination, that's what I'm looking for. The coordination, the muscle cueing techniques to help you along your handstand journey. Okay, turn the backs of the hands down here. External rotation of your shoulders, and learning how to rotate your shoulders either internal or external is going to be really, really important for any time you're trying to learn how to balance on your hands. Good. Bring the hands down nice and flat. Now from here, we're going to go for a wrist raise. So you're going to push the first knuckle down into the ground, lift the palm off the floor, and then lower down nice and softly. Push the knuckle into the ground, lift up, and then lower down. Now, if this is really painful, really tough, the closer to your knees that you go, the more weight I have here on my heels, okay? So that makes this a lot easier. You can imagine if I took my hands off the ground, I don't even need my hands here, but I can then just grade how much weight I want to put onto them to match the strength in my forearm here. And this is a really, really important movement that everyone needs to learn how to do. This movement in your wrist is how you manipulate yourself from your hands when you're upside down. Okay, so we want to get a good sense of what this feels like to be able to do that in the wrist and do it under load and under tension too. And it probably feels like we're spending a lot of time here on the wrist, but it's really important because what I've found when I've been teaching people to handstand is not that they don't understand the theory, they don't understand the techniques. It's just that they understand the techniques, but they don't have the conditioning in their wrists, in their forearms, in their shoulders to even practice the techniques. And you need to practice a lot to get the awareness, the coordination to do a handstand and hand balances. Good. From here, let's spread the fingertips out like so, okay? Imagine you're trying to make this pinching movement with your fingers like this, okay? They're not going to be able to because the floor's in the way, but we're going to isometrically, even though you're trying to push past it, we're going to create an isometric contraction where nothing's actually moving, but you're squeezing as hard as you can here. And then you're going to shift the weight around finger to finger, hand to hand, just getting your fingers used to bearing weight. Good. And then make 2 fists here. When you make a fist now, get some weight on the knuckles and then roll from the pinky finger side to the first finger side. Now imagine my hand wasn't on the ground underneath me, I'd be making this movement happen with my wrist. Yeah, so a lateral flexion of your wrist. I believe that's flexion. Someone on the internet is going to pull me up on my anatomy terms at some point because, I'm sure that's a flexion movement, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure someone will tell me it's not. Good. Right. And then rest off the hands there. Shake out the hands here. Okay, so wrists nice and warm. Those are some basic movements that I think everyone should be practicing regularly if they do want to get good at any kind of hand balance. Whether it's just crow, whether it's flying lizard movements, whether it's a upside down inversion, handstand, even doing a tripod headstand requires a little bit of wrist mobility. Okay, right. From here, tabletop position again. Okay, let's get our spine nice and loose and warm. Next, inhale, extend the spine, look up. And then exhale, flex the spine round the back. Inhale, extend, look up. And exhale, flex the spine and round the back here. I'm just going to move the mic ever so slightly as you keep doing that. Keep going cat-cow, because I reckon, I can't hear it right now, but for you guys, you're probably hearing a lot of muffling as I'm moving this mic around, as it touches my beard. Okay, hopefully, that should be good now. Okay, inhale, extend the spine, look up. And then exhale, flex the spine and round the back. Keep going as I'm talking, as I'm performing this movement. Inhale as you look up. Exhale as you flex and tuck the chin in and forehead comes down. So it's really important here. We don't need any extension to be doing a handstand. So we don't need to do this extending spine movement, but it's really good to feel what it feels like to manipulate your spine now, because your spine positioning becomes really, really important. That's probably the most important thing, right? You got your wrist, shoulder position, and then I think spine is next, because your legs, doesn't really matter where they are. You can see handstands get done in so many different variations, but the handstanding position gets done with a kind of tucked under tailbone no matter what. No matter where the legs are, almost no matter where the arms are, we create this compression, create this flat lower back, and we squeeze the lower pelvic floor muscles. No matter what the handstand variation is, that always happens. And then the legs and arms kind of do what they want around it. Okay. From here, take a deep breath in the neutral position. Exhale, sink back into a child's pose. Good, and then we're gonna hold here. I'm gonna count your breaths here. So this way I'm gonna start to count and start to get into this rhythm of staying in positions for long time periods and breathing. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. From here, let's shift your weight forward, please. Can we tuck your toes under? Let your hips lift up. Find your first downward dog. We're going to move around just a little bit. Not a lot. We don't want this to be like a vinyasa practice. We don't want this to be a flowing practice. This isn't one of my primal flow movement classes. This is earth practice. So we're trying to stay very grounded, very still in a lot of our positions. Hold your downward dog nice and still, please. You don't need to have straight legs. You can have slightly bent legs, and my hands are slipping on this jiu-jitsu mat. Not the best thing for grip, but it's gonna make it a challenge to stay still. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Ujjayi pranayama, if you know what that is, that ocean sounding breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now from here, slowly start to walk your feet forward, please. Small steps. Now purposely folding yourself in nice and tight. You don't have to have straight legs, but wherever you are, I want you to practice pushing the floor away. I want you to practice bringing your stomach, your rib cage, and your chest closer to your knees and your thighs before your head. And breathe. Now, with this kind of practice, I don't want you to ever be passive in positions unless we're lying down flat on the floor and I ask you to. I want you to be very active. So that means you're squeezing your calf muscles, you're squeezing here, you're squeezing your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back extending, and even your lats, you're pulling your shoulder blades back and down. The whole time, this isn't a passive movement. You are engaged and learning how to engage and breathe at the same time. Good. Next inhale, extend the spine and lift up halfway. Look forward here, squeeze the muscle at the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders, hold. Inhale. Exhale. So the question is, like, how hard can you squeeze your muscles while still being able to breathe? There's a point at which I squeeze so tight that I can't breathe anymore. And so we want to work just before that point. And over time, we increase our ability to contract our muscles while still being able to breathe deep. Take a deep breath in now. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, move through a straight spine. So extend the spine again. Hands are going to press together and we're going to lift the hands high overhead here. Exhale, bring the hands down. So no back bending. We're not going to try to excessively back bend in today's class. There might be the odd cobra and vinyasa flow. But here I want you to inhale, lift the hands overhead, press the hands together, create this compression through your shoulders, get this pressure through the shoulders as you lift up. Hands lift overhead. Now naturally the tendency is for the spine to extend out, and for your handstand, we need this. We need this tucking under of your tailbone, even if that means that your shoulders come forward slightly and they're here this week. And then the next week or the week after, they may be here and they're here. And gradually over time, we build our capacity to hold a straight line whilst pushing the floor away, squeezing our lower pelvic muscles. Then take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine, look forward. Then exhale, jump back to chaturanga. Hold here. Next, inhale, cobra. Lift up as high as feels comfortable for you. Try to pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. Stay here and breathe. Then take a deep breath in now, please. Exhale, downward facing dog. So really important today is that we get our hip flexors nice and loose, we get our hamstrings nice and loose, and get our core engaged, okay? Those are the main things that I'm going to really focus on with this kind of class, and then we're getting some hand balance, some head balancing alongside that. Next, inhale, right leg lifts for three-legged dog. Oh, and I'm on a very slidey floor. Can you see my hand sliding? We need to bring some chalk for these mats. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to have to grip the floor even harder. Okay, from here, I want you to start to bring your right knee in towards the chin and chest, flexing and rounding the spine. Lean forward over the line of your wrist. Really important. Compress through your abs. Then push back, three-legged dog, bending the knee, and open up the hip. Find a scorpion reach now. So allow a little bit of rotation of your spine. We're not going to hold this for too long. Right foot is going to step wide of your right hand for lizard lunge. Drop the left knee to the ground. Now, this is really important here. We want to get our hamstring loose and our left hip flexor loose here. So from here, straighten the leg, bend the leg. Straighten the right leg, bend the right leg. The last one, straighten the right leg, bend the right leg. Okay, hold here, tuck the tailbone under. Next inhale, right hand lifts up to the ceiling. And we're going to exhale, reach towards the back of the room. Just doing this and making sure that you're pushing your hips forward is going to give you the stretch in the hip flexor that we want, okay? Those of you who can are going to reach back and grab onto your left foot. Don't worry if you can't. Don't lift the foot up if you can't reach it just yet. We'll welcome that on another class, how to get there. But for now, those of you who can, pull in tight here. So we want to be stretching out the hip flexor and then breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I wonder if you guys can hear that music in there. I can hear Laura's music. Come in, you're okay. So that's Laura, the cleaner here, playing the music as she cleans up. Take a deep breath in. Now you're either going to stay here or you're going to drop your left forearm down to the ground. The same thing, look, naturally this hip flexor is going to pull back like this if it's very tight, and you're going to squeeze your glutes and you're going to push forward here. I'm going to try to maintain side on for now, breathing. What you'll notice is in this class we're doing a lot of static stretching for the hamstrings, for the hip flexors, okay? But not a lot for the shoulders. We want our shoulders to be rigid and strong, flexible to a certain extent, and we want our lower body to be nice and loose to be able to manipulate our spine. Drop the left foot down here. Good. Right hand's gonna come over, press up onto the hands, tuck the back toes under, right leg steps back, find a chaturanga now. Inhale for cobra. Now you're gonna go to downward facing dog. From downward dog, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna walk your feet forwards, one step. Now shoulder press, the head down to the ground. And you're in this tripod headstand setup. From here, just start to walk the feet in. We're not going to go into the headstand just yet. We're just prepping the position and getting used to what it feels like to be inverted and upside down here. Good. Now start to walk back. Small steps. Push, shoulder press to downward facing dog. Then from here, the left leg lifts, finds three-legged dog. Hold here. Breathe. Nice square hips, trying to get that sensation of your hips not compensating for the lack of mobility in your hamstrings. That's going to help you with your handstand practice. Then the left knee is going to come in towards the chin and chest, flex around the spine, push your weight forward over the line of your wrist here. Compress through the abs, then push back, three-legged dog. Then you're going to bend the knee and open up the hip, find a scorpion reach, allow a little bit of rotation. We're not going to hold this too long. Left foot steps forward. Lizard lunge, drop the right knee to the ground. Okay. Now, extend the left leg, bend the left leg. The whole time, as you're bending and extending the left knee, okay, you're watching to see at which point do your hips start to rotate, at which point do your hips move left and right, at which point does your spine start to compensate for the lack of mobility in your hamstrings. Now hold here, please. Next inhale, left hand lifts up high to the sky, then exhale, reach to the back of the room. You're either gonna stay right here like this and keep pushing your hips forward to get this stretch for your hip flexor, okay? Or you can lift your right foot up and hold on here. And then breathe. Okay, so over time, you're pulling this heeling closer to your glutes as you push your hips forward. And we are spending lots of time in this position. I want your wrists to gain strength. I want your shoulders to gain strength. I want you to be able to hold these positions for a long time. From here, start to drop your right forearm down towards the ground. And keep pulling the right heel in nice and tight as you squeeze your glutes and push the hips forward. Good. Then from here, release the right foot down to the ground. Left hand comes over, press the hands into the ground, left leg steps back, chaturanga. Then inhale, cobra, look up, and exhale for downward facing dog. Good. From downward dog, I want you to walk your feet forwards, maybe one step. Then shoulder press, control the head down to the ground, tripod headstand setup. Walk the feet in, small steps. We're not going to take them off the ground. All you're going to do is get conditioning, get the alignment, get your glutes moving over the line of your shoulders here. Squeezing the neck muscles, squeezing your trap muscles. Breathe. Tucking the lower ab muscles in, tucking the tailbone under. Then from here, start to walk the feet back. Push, shoulder press into your downward facing dog. Good. From here, I want you to bend the knees, look forward, walk, step, or jump forward into a fold. Okay. Exhale, take a nice tight fold here. Feet are around hip width apart. Good. Then take a deep breath in. Exhale, bum's going to come down towards heels here. Then inhale, ape reach. So knees come forwards, shoulder blades, pull back and down, hands face up towards the ceiling. Hold here. Now, you're probably thinking, why are we doing this for a handstand practice? Well, it's really important to be able to get into a deep knee bend and extend properly. I'm going to show you now. So from here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, heels come down. Now, this is a nice position where your chest, your rib cage, your stomach comes really close to your thigh. Hands come to the ground here. They're not going to come right next to the feet. They're going to come slightly in front, and then we're going to lean forward into the line of the wrist. Okay? From here, you're going to push the floor away and try to maintain as much tension. So you're going to squeeze your quads, squeeze your hip flexors. Now, really important that I don't lean back and sit back onto my heels. I want to lean forward into my wrist here. Good. And then hold. And breathe. Make sure that the weight is moving through your wrists and hands. Those tarantula hand set that I asked you to set up earlier in the class. The feeling of your feet pushing the floor away, shifting your weight forward over the line of your wrist. Shoulders right up by your ears, squeezing your abs. Take a deep breath in now. Exhale, let the heels come down. Bend the knees, then inhale, lift up for chair pose. Chair pose here, what I want you to do, I should have asked you actually to bring your feet together. Let's do that now. Bring the feet together, bring the knees together, so squeeze your adductor muscles. Press the hands together and look up past your thumb and first finger. Try to not extend through the spine. Try to keep that neutral spine position and feel where that is. Then take a deep breath in. Exhale, stand. Good. Inhale, hands lift overhead. Hold here. Breathe. So what I said, lots of deep static stretching for the legs, for the hamstrings, for the hip flexors to make it easier to tilt our pelvis, make it easier to kick up, or at least position ourselves into the handstand. But lots of strength work for the shoulders, lots of alignment work for the shoulders and upper body from the hips up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, extend the spine, look forward. Now exhale, you're going to start to bend the knees and set up a crow pose here. Now I hope I'm still in shot. I think I am, because when I checked yesterday, I was worried for no reason. But you're going to stay here and hold. And you're going to breathe. And maybe you're going to feel how your fingertips and your hands are controlling your weight here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, you're going to float back to Chaturanga. Not the best float from me. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. I've done a lot more floaty in the past. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. From here, your next inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bring the right foot in between, your right knee in towards the chin and chest. Flex and round the spine, so compress through your core. Tuck your tailbone under. Knee moves in towards the chin and chest and lean forward over the line of your wrist. Then push back for three-legged dog. Then right foot in between the hands. Lunge. Turn the back foot ready for warrior one. Inhale, hands lift. Can you press the hands together? Look up past your thumb and first finger. Now some of you can get to here before the hands start to flare out, okay? And the elbows start to flare out. Stay there. That's fine. Practice tucking the tailbone under. Practice lifting up here. Practice breathing in positions. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, fold forward, pyramid pose, over the right leg. Now, same principle, compression, squeeze your right quads, squeeze your right side abs, squeeze your right hip flexor. Position the hips correctly. Feel. I can feel that my hips want to fly off to this right side to make it easier. And then I can actually get lower, right? But I don't want to get lower without getting the alignment correct. Especially in the context of what we're trying to do. I want my hips to not compensate or move, especially if I'm trying to get upside down and control my handstand. I don't want them to move about because of the lack of mobility in my hamstrings. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the front leg. Inhale, warrior one. Strong shoulders, reaching long. Trust me, this all leads up to a very good handstand. If you have the ability, the conditioning in your shoulders to reach long and still breathe and tuck the tailbone under and keep alignment, handstands become very simple. Become fun to practice, not, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess dangerous. Take a deep breath in, straighten the front leg. Turn the body side on, you're going to take triangle pose. Right hand is going to reach forward and down. Left hand lifts up high towards the sky. So I guess less applicable for our handstand, triangle pose here, but it's such a good stretch for your hamstrings, I think it's worth doing. And to be fair, actually, for me, sometimes having to move my hips laterally, so make sure this part of my side body, my lower back is nice and flexible, really helps my handstands too. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend the front leg. Inhale, hands lift overhead here. Okay, now from here, exhale, bring the hands down, frame the front foot. Now, when you frame your front foot, I'm actually going to slide back a little bit. So I want your right foot to step back ever so slightly. Now, do not do this if you're not comfortable with your handstands. If not, just go back to chaturanga there and wait. If you're more comfortable with your handstands and hand balances from here, your right foot, okay, is gonna push the floor away as your left foot lifts up high to the sky. And it's that same mechanic that we were doing in the ape reach, that push the floor away, chest stays nice and close to your rib cage. So like so. And then control down. Whoa, not my best one. Then cobra. Upward facing dog. I was about this close to landing my face on the floor. Good. Then downward facing dog. If anything, guys, I'm not a fake yoga teacher. Let me show you the real stuff. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Square body. Left knee in towards the chin and chest, flexing and rounding the spine. Then push back for three-legged dog. Left foot in between the hands for lunge. Turn the right foot out, warrior one positioning. Inhale, hands lift overhead. Press the hands together. Look up past your thumb and first finger. Breathe. So constantly feeling like you're pushing the floor away with the back foot, bending into the front leg. There's something just out the reach of your fingertips here. Take a deep breath in, straightening the front leg. Exhale, fold forward, pyramid pose. So heels are roughly on the same line as each other. Back foot is not out at 90 degrees because that starts to turn my hip out, right? I want my back foot to be facing forward, 45-degree angle, okay? Roughly anyways. You don't need to get the protractor out. Or is it the compass? I can't remember which one does degrees. Breathe in. Squeeze the left quads. Manipulate your hip positioning. Inhale. Exhale. Then take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend the left leg. My feet are sliding around everywhere. Inhale. Warrior one. Press the hands together, look up. Shoulder conditioning. Look up past the thumb and first finger. Keep trying to tuck the tailbone under. I can feel that mine's actually not that good on this left side. Oh, there we go. So actually, I want you to see this. So as I tuck my tailbone under, it gives me less space for my rib cage. My rib cage was compensating to get my hands up and sticking and arching my back. So on my left side, I actually need to have my hands, I can feel, is about here. Wow. Not as good as I thought it was. I'm just going to try to breathe through it. Okay, next inhale, straighten the left leg, turn the body side on. Triangle pose. Hey, I feel like I haven't looked at you in a while. Left hand, forward, down. Right hand. Oh yeah, this left side is a lot tighter. I think this left side is generally tighter because of the injury I have on my right side. My right side is a bit numb. So in kickboxing and in capoeira, I'm only throwing my right leg because I can't balance on my right leg properly. So I'm throwing all my kicks on my right side, which is making this really tight. I didn't realize how tight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the left leg. Inhale, warrior one. Okay. Press up, look here, get the spine positioning correct. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Okay, from here, spin on the back leg, left foot steps back ever so slightly. It's that same mechanic. Compression through your core, lift up high. Let's see if I can do one this time without nearly crashing my face down into the ground. But we're gonna meet in Chaturanga, okay? So here, that one was a little bit better. Still not my best. Then Cobra, then Downward Facing Dog. From Downward Dog now, you're gonna walk your feet forwards. You're gonna bring the head down to the ground, tripod headstand positioning. Now, really important, okay? How can you get up to your headstand? Is it through here, through walking in, and maybe you just stay here? That's fine. Some of you are gonna go through that tucked headstand, then into a handstand here. Oh, sorry, did I say handstand? I meant headstand. Do not do a handstand here. Unless you can, that'd be very impressive. Some of you, it'd be more appropriate from here to lift up straight leg lift into your headstand. Keep pushing the floor away, both with your hands and the upper neck. And breathe. Nice, then take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower the legs down. All the way down to the ground. Walk back with the feet, then shoulder press, downward dog. Breathing. Let's see if you can go into a tucked handstand and then land down in that fold, ready to do our 8 per each work. So you're going to bend the knees. You're going to shift the weight forward, and then we're going to make sure we get our weight over the line of our wrist here. Then from here, jump, tuck handstand, and then land down. Came over a little bit earlier than I wanted to. Then from here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Okay. Now, take a deep breath in here, extend the spine, look forward. Exhale, bum down towards heels. Inhale, 8 per each. Open up the shoulders, then internal rotation of your shoulders, really important. Flex around the spine. Good. Hands down to the ground here, slightly in front of the feet. Move the knees forward, okay? Now from here, I don't want to be able to take my hands off the ground easily. I want to have weight forward. So right now, if I took my hands off the ground, I would fall forward. Same principle here. Shift the weight forward and then compression through your abs. So push the floor away and then hold. Make sure we get weight moving forward over the line of your wrist. Make sure you're compressing, squeezing your quads and hip flexors. Make sure you're tucking your tailbone under. So I can feel as my wrists are getting tight, I was just starting to lean back there. And you want to keep leaning forward over the line of your wrist, over the line of your shoulders. Then take a deep breath in. Exhale, shift the weight back, lower down, and start to come into a nice relaxed squat. Hands come in and behind the back here. Lower your glutes down to the ground. Let the legs come out nice and straight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. And breathe. So we've got this nice kind of relaxed spine positioning. What I want you to do now is strengthen it up. I want this to be strength-based. Pull the shoulder blades back and down, even if that means that your head isn't as far forward, right? Because I see this in class all the time. People associate their hands getting further down the line of their calves and ankles and toes with forward folding, right? But if you watch what happened, my hands moved forwards, my spine went backwards. I didn't really change the angle here, which is what we really need for both hamstring mobility, compression work, L-sits, handstands, everything, right? Doing this is just getting your hands, I guess, building a little bit of shoulder mobility and anything, and it just looks a bit naff, right? So we want you over time to pull your shoulder blades back and down, learn to compress, learn to extend at your lower back, squeeze the quads, and make this a strength-based movement, especially for this kind of practice. And then breathe. You see how my hands can move a lot, but the angle here doesn't change. I can even move my head up and down, but this angle doesn't change. And this is the thing that we're trying to manipulate. Good. From here, slowly start to lift up, create the Dandasana style pose. So shins engaged, quads engaged, glutes engaged, lower back engaged. Lift the hands high overhead. Now you'll see this in handstand drills up against the wall. It's really good to do it seated too. Try to create as straight as line as feels natural and comfortable to you. And I'm going to see when I watch this back on camera how my alignment actually is in comparison to what I think it needs to be. Probably actually, I can feel my ribcage lifting up a little bit. Probably wants to be about there. Oh, no, about there. There, I think. We'll see. Breathe, squeeze the quads. Then take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands in and behind the back, fingertips face backwards, point the toes, reverse plank. Inhale, lift up. If you look at what we're doing loads of wrist conditioning, loads of shoulder conditioning, loads of alignment for our core. And this is a brilliant way to supplement the actual skills practice of doing handstands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Lower the glutes down. Good. Now from here, walk the feet a little closer, lie down flat on your back. Now really important, okay, whilst our hamstrings are nice and loose, whilst our hip flexors are nice and loose as well and engaged, okay, let's practice tilting our pelvis. So right now there's this gap underneath my back. If I find my hip bones and then I walk my fingers in about 2 inches and I cough, there's a little muscle that pops up. If I try to, where my fingers are, feel where that is, and then squeeze that down and push my lower back into the ground. Then if I cough, it pops up a little bit, but it doesn't pop up as much. We want to hold that muscle like you hold something in your hand, like you're gripping onto something. You're not trying to crush it, you're just trying to hold something in your hand, okay? The same way you're going to engage with that part of your lower ab muscles, okay? As you're holding that there, you're going to start to lift the hands up, dead bug position. Then you're going to lift the knees up, okay? This whole time, I must keep my lower back flat on the ground, okay? Now for everyone, the further away this foot goes away from my body, the more weight and leverage it has over my muscles here. So the further away that leg goes, the more likely I am to lift and arch my back, right? So you have to then make a decision for you whilst we're doing this. Where is it? So when you extend the legs out, whether it's 1 leg or 2 legs, let's do 2 legs today so we can all move at the same time, right? So 1 leg or 2 legs, let's say it's here. Let's say your back starts to come up here. Then you're going to pull them in and you're going to work there, and that's okay because you're learning how to engage this and keep this tucked under. Some of you are going to be here, some of you are going to be here, some of you are going to be here. Some of you are going to have your arms out too here like this, and you're working on that handstand alignment. So actually I can feel, maybe my abs are not feeling too strong today. We're doing loads of handstands yesterday, capoeira. So I think here for me is good. Whoa, I'm shaking. Abs are tired from yesterday. Breathing. So here I can feel my lower back come off the ground. So I'm going to work in here today. Not as strong as I thought I was. Then take a deep breath in. Then exhale, lower the legs down. From here, what I want you to do is compress and crunch in. Push the lower back into the ground. It's a little bit easier with the feet on the floor. Breathe. Everything is holding positions for long times. Getting your nervous system, getting your muscles, building up the muscular endurance pathways. Learning how to contract your muscles and hold them for long periods of time. Because when you want to do a handstand, you don't just want to get into position for a second, right? You want to be able to hold it. Okay, from here, dead bug position, arms and legs go out. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the legs. Breathe.
And then from here, start to lift back up. Bring the legs down, arms down by your side. Pull the shoulder blades back and down, okay? From here, glute bridge, squeeze the glutes. Lower down, crunch the abs in again. Reach down with the hands and breathe. Good. Nice. Then from here, hey. The what, sorry? The what? Oh, the geese, they're there in the corner. Yes, all right? Yeah, don't worry. You're going to be in the background of my yoga class video, just to let you know. That's all right. Okay, and from here, extend the legs out long overhead again. Point the toes, contract down to the point that you can control. So you're trying to keep your lower back flat on the ground. And then breathe. Good. Then take a deep breath in. Then exhale, bring the feet down, bring your arms down by your side. Good. Shake out the legs here. So all the hard work done for this point. Moving the hips around, moving the knees around, and just relaxing off our back. Little rotations to start to release your spine. So bring your right arm out towards the side here. Let your knees fall off towards the left side. Left hand comes across your right thigh, and then rotate. And slowly start to release that rotation. And then set up the rotation on the other side, right? Knees fall off towards your right side. Gaze goes over towards your left. Then bring the knees back through center. Hug the knees in tight towards your chest there. And just let your knees move around to wherever feels comfortable for your spine. We did loads of compression work with your lower back today. Loads of compression work. Abs, I can feel that my lower back has had it a little bit, especially with some of that dead bug work, the handstand work we did yesterday. So nice relaxed movements. From here, bring the feet down flat as if you're going to do a glute bridge. Next inhale, reach the arms long overhead. And exhale, hold here. Then take a deep breath in. And exhale, lie down flat on the ground. Try to find a position that's super comfortable for you. So you're in a position where you can resist any urges to fidget or move now. So whether that's arms out to the side or arms overhead, or whether that's arms crossed over the chest, your choice. Just at the end of every practice, we always try to find some down regulation for your nervous system and try to just take in what we've done today. While it's fresh in your mind, remember what it felt like to shift the weight around in your wrist and shift the weight around in the shoulders and get some free practice in your mind, going through the teaching cues and going through the alignment cues. as you let your body completely slow down, come to a complete stop here. Kriyam Tat Sat.